Hi everybody, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. We're taking a look at a full moon in Scorpio today in a fixed water sign, and it's occurring at 7:49 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what we have going on in terms of transits and the effect that it might be having upon you and everybody else. Full moon in Scorpio, Tuesday, April 23rd. Pressures you to transform an issue or area of your life by regaining or relinquishing control, redefining boundaries, or destroying them, as the culminating intensity of a full moon in a fixed water sign highlights the sharing, or not, of values and resources from an all-or-nothing perspective. The full moon occurs at 7:49 p.m. Eastern Time, but before the moon enters Pluto-ruled Scorpio just after 10 a.m., it spends the morning in the cardinal air sign of Venus-ruled Libra, where it opposes the North Node, Chiron, Mercury retrograde, and Venus, all in the cardinal fire sign of Mars-ruled Aries, before opposing the Sun in the fixed earth sign of Venus-ruled Taurus. Pluto in Aquarius forms a tense and volatile T-square with the Moon and Sun, but also a highly magnetic, materially productive, and passionately romantic minor grand trine aspect pattern with Saturn, Mars, and Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter conjunct Uranus in Taurus. You may experience a wide range of emotions today, but I think it's important to refrain from judging them as all good or all bad, because releasing bad feelings without judgment can be cathartic and motivate you to manifest what you require to feel better. For example, deciding you have had enough of a terrible job or unhappy relationship will lift your spirit while increasing your self-esteem, which will make you more magnetic to new opportunities and attractive to other potential partners. People may be stubborn, willful, defensive, and emotionally unstable or unpredictable today, but many things that have been hidden will come to light when feelings and words erupt, things that could shift your perspective and transform your future. When you let go of something, the empty space could be filled quickly, and you may witness or experience instant karma. This full moon amplifies the effects of thoughts, words, and deeds. Let's take a look at what's going on in the sky. And it is quite active. All of the fixed signs are under more pressure at this time, and that includes Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, because we've got 3 out of the 4 fixed signs active in this T-square, and we've also got Jupiter and Uranus fixed energy, as well as Pluto in the fixed energy involved in that minor grand trine. The cardinal signs also under some pressure, so that will include the Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn energy. If you have any placements in those signs, you might feel this rather intensely as well, because we still have a great deal of activity in Aries, and the lunar nodes are still hanging out in Aries and Libra, and we are still feeling the shock waves of the last lunations that took place in Aries, Libra, and were accompanied by eclipses. So relationship is really at the heart of this full moon, but Aries Libra is, it's not that it's lighter, it's more social, it's more about what is being presented to the world, whereas Taurus and Scorpio energy is more about the values, the legalities of things, the seriousness of something, and the stuff that's going on behind closed doors in relationship. The commitment level, the, again, legalities, where money is changing hands or values are being tested. And Scorpio rules the 8th house, which is a house that rules things like sex, death, taxes, metaphysics, the occult, business partnerships, investments, inheritances. It is where money makes money, or we're sharing our money or values in a bigger way with other people, or we're utilizing other people's money. And there's often more accountability involved or more legalities involved when we are involved with other people's money. So it's deeper and it's more intense, but it's still very relationship oriented. And as we go from the moon moving through Libra into Scorpio today, whatever issues have been going on for the last 3 days as the moon's been transiting through Libra, whether it's your relationship to a boss or a company you work for, or a partner you're with, or a neighbor or a friend, or anybody really, it may take a deeper turn with this full moon, and you may feel as though you're being pressured to make a decision one way or another, either to merge in some way or to protect and defend or break away. And depending on the circumstance, that would be entirely up to you. I really can't say whether one is better than the other. The Libra Aries nodes would be giving you tests over things like compromise, and diplomacy and negotiation. However, with Mercury retrograde, Chiron, Venus, all in Aries, if you find yourself repeating a pattern and you know that it's you that is the key player there in the pattern, then this retrograde of Mercury may give you the opportunity to change that. And the lunation occurring now in Scorpio may enable you to say, enough, I've had enough. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and every sign says something, and Taurus says, I have, and Aries says, I am. So there could be some strong declarations of values now, or waking up and realizing, wait a minute, this is wrong, or I don't like this, or this no longer suits me, I've changed. And that may require stepping into some power. And Pluto, of course, is pivotal here in Aquarius. The willingness to take the risk or the chance and to break anything that is holding you and preventing you from what? From the growth and the abundance. You might recognize how you're standing in your own way today, and that it's not just the other person or the job or whatever. And then you figure out what you need to do to change your perspective and your attitude. Or you might realize that, wait a minute, I've been letting myself be fooled all along or used all along because it's been of some benefit to me. Don't get hung up on the beating yourself up. Whether you were right or wrong doesn't matter, or the other person right or wrong. Just get to the point of making your decision and then either going all in or all out with whatever it is that you are deciding. But do know that while we have Mercury retrograde and it is giving us its last licks right now, it always seems as though we can kind of slide through a Mercury retrograde season without too much fuss until we get to the last few days. And then it does kick up a fuss. And I know for me, it's been moving through my 11th house, friends, groups, organizations, the internet, the amount of ridiculousness that I've experienced with the internet and using apps or websites and things that won't load or pages that are broken. It's been ridiculous the last 2 or 3 days, and it's all minor inconveniences. But to step in and say, okay, how can I get around this, or what do I need to do to fix this? And then doing it. But whatever you decide, or whatever you say, while that Mercury retrograde and Chiron and Venus and the North Node are all in Aries, any declarations and decisions you're making, that is going to be rather final, and I don't know if you'll be able to change your mind and take it back. So once you do declare something, things are put in motion. And if you're radically changing your life in some way, it may be that other people are going to be upset with you. The lunar nodes always oppose each other, and we have the self-aware energy of Aries, and then we have the partnership awareness, the other, in Libra. And whatever you might decide for yourself today, particularly if it's a statement of power or a declaration of freedom or change, it may ultimately be very good for you, but there could be people who have reasons for why they want you to stay the way you are and the way that they know you to be. And it doesn't mean that you're going to perhaps lose that person forever. It could be that they simply have to adjust and learn to support and accept. And we do have the energy here in Pisces with Saturn, Mars and Neptune in particular together. That combination can sometimes bring the action and the sacrifice, or going after a dream or a goal. And thankfully, they are getting good support from the planets of growth and change here, as well as the empowerment and the transformation over here with Jupiter and Uranus and Pluto. So ultimately, I think if other people see that you're putting the work in, and they realize that, well, this is the new program, and you're willing to make sacrifices and work hard, and you're not backing down, this is how things are going to be in the future, they will either get with the program and be there with you, or if not, then they're just not meant to be there. And you'll be too busy moving ahead and going after what you really want to grieve very long. And we'll have to see if they come back into your life at a later point in time. It's possible, but the main thing for you is to spend more time looking forward than looking backward. If you're looking backward right now, it's more about becoming aware and looking at patterns and then breaking them and establishing something that is more beneficial toward your future and toward being productive and doing the things that you're meant to be doing here, rather than modifying yourself or giving your power over to others and not being supported or appreciated. So nothing's either all good or all bad at this point in time, and some of the things that might look as though they're rather negative might turn out to be positives. Let's take a look at the Sabian symbol. So we round up to 5 degrees, and we've got a massy rocky shore resists the pounding of the sea. Keynote: the inertia of all institutionalized procedures. Slow is the rise of the land from the vast ocean, but once it is formed, it develops a formidable resistance to change in spite of storms. Likewise, once a culture has expressed its basic symbols and its particular way of thinking, feeling, and acting in concrete institutions, these change very slowly indeed. The individual who came to the great city, Scorpio 1 degree symbol, soon finds his life set by the rhythms of city living, which obliterate vaster life processes and the moving tides of evolution. This is the last of the 5 symbols of the 43rd sequence. We see in it how binding and resistant a communal way of life can become. In this, there is strength and stability, and these are necessary factors in the social life of man until new horizons beckon. The key word is stability. And actually, I I feel as though what we have going on right here, yes, Taurus and Scorpio energy seeks to have enough, be enough, accumulate money, have resources, safety, and security. So there is all the stability, but that is only going to come about through a letting go, a release of the things that no longer serve or are literally controlling or limiting or preventing the growth. And I do think there's opportunity in here for going after something bigger and better. So there is definitely a letting go, a release, or potential falling away. And it may be that more people are waking up and realizing what their true purpose is, or what they really want to be doing with their time, or who do they really want to be with, what type of relationship are they wanting in their life. That T-square is going to shake foundations. And I did choose for the image um, a volcanic eruption. And I've always been fascinated with volcanoes. I feel they are very Plutonian and scorpionic in nature, especially the undersea activity that goes on. They build new land. The intensity of basically liquid earth, then cooling in water and becoming fertile land. So we have that transformative process, both the death and the rebirth, the resurrection. And I often feel like the emotional intensity that comes about at a Scorpio moon transit, particularly at new moons and full moons, will always bring that lava up, whatever is repressed. And it's highly creative. It's meant to be expressed, but when it comes out, it can certainly look messy and it can feel pretty horrible. But I think it's a necessary process in our yearly cycles as we go through all the signs and we go through the new moons and full moons and all the signs and all the houses of our natal chart, that it's part of an entire evolutionary process in who we are always becoming, that we have to get down to that deeper stuff that we have suppressed, and it has to come up. Enjoy this full moon. A little bit of time alone never hurts, and definitely stating your intentions, writing them on paper. I like to burn them, weather willing. I'll be burning a lot tonight, so I'll be sending intentions that all of you are able to have clarity toward what you desire to manifest in your future, and that any of your transformations that you're going through will be peaceful and for the better. Take care, and I'll see you in 2 weeks at the next new moon.